Say hi. Say hi or just write here. Kwakati. Nababa, if you are watching soccer, come let's discuss into Ayoshandro. Just a piece of discussion. We want to understand as Zimbabweans, why do you think Triple C split? Chi chakakonzera kuti Triple C is split. We thought we had a very powerful party coming in Zimbabwe, and the force that Triple C had when they came, it was unbelievable. It was unheard of. Hapana kana ku Southern Africa, hakuna kana any other president akawina ma-elections nema-numbers angana Chamisa. But unfortunately, Chamisa ended up losing. What do you think happened? When we had a very powerful force, all the people wanted to be part of the movement here, Triple C. And then what happened? What do you think happened? Do you think my leadership akasplita nenyaya ye tribalism in Zimbabwe? We have two people in Zimbabwe. It's either we've got Ndebele people or we've got Shona people. But we are one. We are all Zimbabweans. But here and there, panombobuda nyaya tribalism, and it's still there. Even ku South Africa, iriko. I was surprised. My friend Mxhosa achiti inini handidyidzane nemuZulu. Muvenda wachitiwo vaXhosa anonetsa. So there's always this gamma fiction when it comes to people isusu with our tribalism. Hanzi naEma Mandebele akagara akadaro, we can't change them. But then also Mashona agara akadaro, we can't change them. We also have a thing where kowainziwa kasungwa wakabuda. Hi guys, let's talk about politics. I'm not going to give Ndodo relevance, guys. Ndodo anogara kumukuku ku Cape Town. How will he know? Inindiri ku London, guys. How will Ndodo know? Joyce, I've been so busy. Nonetheless, I want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about Anandodo and give them relevance. Let's talk about politics. What do you think caused the split yet Triple C? Chabangu is someone that is coming from Bulawayo. Mugatarisisa mamwe ma grievance also angana Chabangu. He came up and he said he also wanted people. He came up achitotaura kuti he also wanted Ndebele people to be part, to hold significant roles. Not kungoti tiri kusapota Triple C tiri mbombera tese. Do you think kuti when Ndebele people come up and say, as much as mapati ari kufomewa ku Harare, we have a system, a tendency of people vachifoma maparties achiva ku Harare, and then automatically we expect Ndebele people to rally along with whoever comes up. Do you think this is why we have Ana Weshme Ncube all the time coming, taking my steps behind? What is it that my political parties are missing ku Zimbabwe? Chinokonzera kuti all the time there is friction muma opposition. I don't strongly blame ZANU-PF, but I also blame people kuti we are power hungry. Somewhere, somehow, vanhu vanenge varineka power hungry. And somewhere, somehow, people do not include mamwe maroots. I feel it is about time in Zimbabwe we had people, not only Ndebele people, there are Manchangani people in Zimbabwe. Variko Machangani. We have people that come from Komtare, Amasamanyika. let's have a leadership with people that can go and communicate mukati. We do not want a situation whereby Chamisa even addressa rally yekubulawayo anenge achitaura 2 words. Can we at least have a party that will say our president of the party, either Mundebele, and the vice is Shona? Do you think that will be possible in Zimbabwe? I personally feel I am yet to see that. And inini because I am saying kuti Chamisa apera. As much as people might say, hey, Chamisa tinomuda, Chamisa is the force iri kuZimbabwe. I personally feel kuti Chamisa apera. Chamisa has got nothing new to offer. I will come and say it 20 times. I will come and say it 100 times kuti isusu sevana vekuZimbabwe. What do you think Chamisa is going to offer us? Chaasina kukwanisa kuti offer. What new strategies do you think he's going to bring? Inini for one, ndakatozviona kuti pana Chamisa pasisina. And there are a whole lot of people vari kutozviona. Do you people vari kuZimbabwe, if you are in your 40s, I think wakatombovhota kana ka 10 times, kana ka 8 times in Zimbabwe. On the times that you have voted, most probably you were voting for an opposition, either MDC Alliance, and then we went to CCC. Do you think pane change yavachawisa here? I personally feel, kana tafunga, why talking about Chamisa, ipo paine mamwe mafesi aripo and the party support them. Edmo, Edmo, thanks for coming. Edmo, I personally feel, get my message, my dear. I personally feel, let's put Chamisa aside. I feel the only way Zimbabwe will ever have a freedom, if ever in this world, kuti Zimbabwe iwane liberation, it can only come from ZANU-PF. I personally feel muma next elections, vanhu vese hande tinovote tinosupporta ZANU. Amandebele mese muri vatengese futseke. Guys, let's not insult each other. We all Zimbabweans. We all Zimbabweans. And the division will always be there. Division yekuti Ndebele Shona, it will always be there. There are people vari kutoblame Chabangu because Chabangu seems to be from Buluwayo, and now they are and now they are now blaming Chabangu. And more, what has Nelson Chamisa hasn't done yet? Politically, I feel Nelson Chamisa has exhausted every other option that he has. Every other strategy in his box, he has done it. I am not, if I'm one person that is saying, I wish one day Zimbabwean people will wake up. Tomuka toyenda hedu tichifamba mu street and demand our freedom. Zvinokwanisa kutotisunungura Zimbabwe. Tisiri under anyone. Nzara yarova, nhamo yarova, taita bho tanzwa kuti zvakwana. Tongofamba takananga mu street. In our millions, we'll be able to liberate ourselves. As long as we need to understand, when they say think like a man and act like a woman, let's also start thinking like ZANU-PF and act like CCC. Ndati tange kufunga sevanhu veZANU-PF. How does ZANU-PF think? ZANU-PF they don't have any straightness mavari. For us kuti ticha overtake ZANU-PF, it's a thing that might not happen. But when we start thinking like ZANU-PF, we will be able to overthrow ZANU-PF. The minute we decide as my citizens and not look at Nelson Chamisa and say he is our savior, we will liberate Zimbabwe. Let's start thinking like ZANU-PF. And in our numbers, Tino Joina, you cannot beat them from outside, but we can beat them from inside. Once you are inside, you are able to... Okay, once you are inside, you are able to know my strategies avanenge vachishandisa, and we might be able kuvakunda. But the more we keep kuti tiri kunze, totuma Nelson Chamisa, guys, I swear upon my living God, ini kana vanhu vekuZimbabwe matanga kuramba muchingoti Nelson Chamisa, ndakuvhurawo pati yangu, ndikutovhura pati yangu. Toda kutoita masuggestion panapa kuti what names can we put, because Nelson Chamisa has failed. Toda kutombotsvaga vamwe vanhu vanopenga seniso, vanokwanisa kutongozviudza kuti guys, kana zvaramba toita sei, tigotsvaga masolutions. Because as far as Nelson Chamisa, yes, anofarirwa nevanhu, but he can never liberate Zimbabwe. In a million years to come, Nelson Chamisa will never do it. Yes. Guys, muri say. We will never experience freedom ku Zimbabwe as long as tichi supporter Nelson Chamisa. Not only Nelson Chamisa, as long as tichi supporter any opposition party ku Zimbabwe. An opposition party is not going to liberate Zimbabweans. ZANU-PF iyoyo tikakwanisa kuti ndativhotere vaMnangagwa out. Izvezvi ZANU-PF iri busy kukampena, isusu tiri kuona. All we are doing and talking about is Nelson Chamisa, who is apparently not doing anything. The house is in trouble. We don't even know direction kwa vari kuinda, kana kuti vari kuinda kupi, ku left kana ku right kana kupi, we don't know. So the best way is sema Zimbabweans, hende itese, tino joina ZANU-PF, ta joina ZANU-PF, toenda tese ku Congress, tono votera someone are young. It is high time we started educating Zimbabweans. ZANU-PF will never come out. But what we need as Zimbabweans is to remove those old thugs. And it can only happen ku Congress, yes, ZANU-PF. Handei tino educate vanhu veZANU-PF kuti even muZANU-PF munokwanisa kutongwa, munokwanisa kuwanikwa candidate achafarirwa nevanhu veZimbabwe as a whole. They are young people vari muZANU-PF. And as long as that new leadership comes under the face of ZANU-PF, Zimbabwe shall be liberated. Because what they want is the name kuti ZANU-PF ichatonga kushikira ya ameno. So the only way we can beat ZANU-PF is to join them. Join them. Let's get to know their strategy. Even all those people vamuri kuona kuti, guys, mukaona na job scala vaneta. They've been in the struggle doing politics for more than 20 years, trying to liberate Zimbabwe. They have lived their life. They have suffered so badly, but nothing will ever come out in the opposition. Zimbabwe will only be liberated by a new leader who will come into ZANU-PF. Hatisi kuchagana Chiyangwa, hatisi kuchagana Mnangagwa, datibvise ma old thugs esari kumusoro. seZANU-PF iyoyo tochaga candidate watinoona ari kubenefitawo ane mari futi yekuzoti kana zvinhu zvikanetsa he can also defend his core. Ndatinyepedzerei kusupporta ZANU-PF. Let's start thinking like ZANU-PF people. Let's go in semazano. Isusu tichiziva chinangwa kuti toda kubvisa vanhu vanozviti we died for our Zimbabwe. Those are the thugs we need to remove. Those are the people that are making Zimbabwe suffer. This is my thought. I sleep, I eat Zimbabwe because I am a proud Zimbabwean. Sometimes I spend sleepless nights thinking, how best can we improve our loved Zimbabwe? Kuti Zimbabwe ichange, tichaigona say. As Zimbabweans, let's start thinking outside the box. Kuti ZANU tane opposition party for 20 years, guys. And they still vanongoita the same strategy. They are even seated planning on the next strategy and another next strategy. They will also preach about peace in Zimbabwe. They will preach about we are a peaceful country, blah, 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 blah. But they will still rig. A week after my elections, they will even come and say it in your face, my elections are no rigwa. I saw the president achizvitaura kuVic Force, and people were just laughing. If you are a Zimbabwean and you think like me, it's high time we started putting my chess, my pawn edu, my queen, ne king, kuti tiwone kuti how do we best remove the queen? Because ZANU-PF haifi yakadyiwa ne-any opposition party kuZimbabwe. Kana isu vanhu vekuZimbabwe tichine ukaward wekuti taneta kufamba muroad, kuti taneta takuda kunoita democracy, kuti titore nyika yedu tifambe muroad, ZANU-PF will never go anywhere. But the only way we can beat ZANU-PF is let's join them. When we join them in our numbers, toenda ku Congress, tonochaga candidate, anokwanisa young someone. There are so many people that remove ZANU-PF. Some people are forced to be Muzanu, not because they are ZANU-PF supporters, not because they don't see the wrong, it one is ZANU-PF, but inyaya yekuti they joined ZANU-PF because they want to survive in Zimbabwe. And your survival skill is to carry the flag yekuti, I am ZANU-PF, I am ZANU-PF, I am ZANU-PF. A lot of people baruku Zimbabwe, they are carrying that card, not because they want, not because avaskuona zvirikuitika, the injustice that is happening on the ground. They can see the injustice, but they have havana solution, havana the voice. But if we can get one person ari under ZANU-PF, chero achinyepa, chero achigona, chero achiita say, there will be change. Not all ZANU-PF people avaone zvakaipa, but because those ZANU-PF elders of ours vari kuda kuti vafe zviri peaceful, vanoziva mhosva dzavakaita, vanoziva mari dzavakaba. Saka they are afraid kuti if any opposition party ikauya kuZimbabwe, they will be crucified. Saka isusu semaZimbabweans, zvisiri zvekuti kwai Penelope ari kuda motikari. I am giving you an insight, ideas on how isusu as Zimbabweans we can liberate Zimbabwe. Let's start thinking like ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF inofunga says ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF would go the extra mile and plant people mu Triple C. ZANU-PF inoplanta vanhu mu opposition. Why isusu se opposition tisiri kukwanisa kuplanta vanhu mu ZANU-PF? What is our problem? How come we do not have opposition inokwanisa kunoplantiwawo muZANU-PF? Let's start planting our agency ovanoshanda ovariko kuZANU-PF ikoko kuti zvinhu zvedu zvienderere mberi. Guys, I have to go. Inguvai. Okay, now 6 o'clock I have to go. So this is what I am thinking, and I thought we should share. And I just want to encourage everyone, either you are Ndebele, either you are Shona, we are all suffering. Tese tukutambura ku Zimbabwe. Tese, we want to liberate Zimbabwe. We might divide ourselves because tinenge tichichaga ma solutions, tinenge taneta, never ideas, but saka tichaita say, what next? What's the best that can happen? People do not have ideas. No one can even tell you kuti politics yeku Zimbabwe. Chero tikainyora mubhuku haiverengeke politics yeku Zimbabwe. The truth of the matter is, even if we were to write the history of Zimbabwe as it is happening right now, haikwanise kuiverengeka. You can't understand it. There is completely no history. Our children will never get to know the truth why we allowed people kuti oppress for so long. And we looked. There will be a generation that will come and say, but how come they looked and they were comfortable with it? We will be called the weakest generation. Because the history yacho inenge iri biased. Apana chokwadi chinokwanisa kunyorwa pamusoro pezvinhu zviri kuitika muZANU-PF or in Zimbabwe right now. But I pray kuti as Zimbabweans as a unit, let's start thinking like ZANU-PF, guys. Jekusapota Chamisa, hashtag pasina Chamisa, hashtag pasina na job scala. Those people, they've been 20 years, 25 years. 20, iri marriage, mweda yakatopera. Iri marriage, vana vakutoenda ku university. They've been doing the opposition for so long. Anachabangu, they are fighting and saying, kuti, triple yedu, takava ku MDC. Dova katotanga. Guys, I have to go. Because I am currently, I have to go, ne? Because ndichiri kubasa, I felt ndiri pa tea break yangu, and I felt, let me talk to someone. Someone might understand where I'm coming from and where I am going. We all have been victims of ZANU-PF. We all have been seeing what is happening. And the only thing that you and me didn't try is to say, we are also going to carry that ZANU-PF card. Imagine a scenario where Tese we go ku party. Tese toenda tonova supporta tichinda kumarali. And then musiwe kuvota pongo noiswa an independent candidate and we all vote against. But as long as tichi vota, ZANU-PF will always rig my elections. They'll always come up with a plan. As long as Priscilla Chigumba is there, kupi kwa makamboona electrical commissioner anoita 10 years achingoshanda pachinjimbo 1. That should be telling you there's something wrong in our nation. That should be telling you there is completely something wrong in our nation. So remember, as long as Priscilla Chigumba is still the commissioner, ZANU-PF will always win. As long as Anamnangagwa Nachiwengwa, they are still there. They have a whole lot to protect, a lot of things that they have taken. And as long as kukauya, even kukauya strife masiwa, kukauya chitindoda kuita politician, even kukauya Obama, kuva ku America, kuti ndauya kuzobetsera vanhu veku Zimbabwe, ndini candidate ye opposition, achaluza ku Zimbabwe. So let's start thinking outside the box and say, we are tired of these people. The only way we can do it is hende itinoita ZANU-PF. Toyenda kana iri ma councillor ma ward You choose your people. Vanhu vamunoda imimi vamunoziva kuti they are advocates for change. They are people that are going to create a better Zimbabwe. Mukatanga from the grassroots, muchisarudza vanhu venyu vamuri kuda vechange, muri under the card yeZANU-PF, we will be able to change Zimbabwe. Let's start going kuZANU-PF ikoko kumarali. My candidates anenge aripo, those people that are strongly active in their politics. Start muchino contest ukuthi ndoda kuita under ZANU-PF card, ndoda kuita councillor. When you go to parliament, you will be able to stand up for the people of Zimbabwe. We have good citizens in Zimbabwe, but they need our support. Dati vasarudze, vaite maZANU-PF councillor, vaite maZANU-PF MPs. Kana takuselecta ma-MPs mukuma regions, itai kuti isusu vanhu vacho ndisu tiri kutoita. Ndisu tinovasarudza. We might get somewhere. I don't know. I love you guys and I have to go. I hope I will see you again. Let's keep talking politics because my elections are kuya ku Zimbabwe. Love you and take care. Bye-bye.